Hi, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our live broadcast. And I'm Rachel Olivar. I'm streaming live from IPAS Manila office. And with me today will be my sister, who is Miss Jean Olivar. Miss Jean, would you like to greet our audience? We don't have any audiences of this time. Yeah, I can see that they are 14. There are 14 viewers that we have. You might want to greet them.
Good evening, everybody. Hello from Texas.
So our topic today we will be talking about why our applicants or those nurses will choose Texas over another state board of nursing. So today we will be talking about the NCLEX application as well, the cost of living in Texas, the weather, the nurses' income. Because let's be practical, nurses are going abroad because of course they want to gain more with regard to their salary aside from, let's talk about other opportunities, better professional career development. But the main reason why they are going abroad is because of the nurse salary. And with this discussion, we are also going to talk about the salary, and also we will be talking about the work life balance with regard to working abroad, specifically in Texas. So we will just greet first of all our 33 viewers who are with us today, Miss Jean. So let me just start. Can you see any viewer there in your screen, Miss Jean, or no?
No, I see 42 people here. Someone from Kerrville, Texas, Miss Irene Amaru. Hi.
Hello, Miss Irene. From may we know where are you watching from? So Sir Wancho, hello from Kerrville, Texas. Is Kerrville, Texas near to your location, Miss Jean?
It's 1 hour. 1 hour from San Antonio. I've gone to Texas one time, like three years ago. There was the one who do my taxes there. It's a long way from San Antonio, Texas, to have my taxes done. But it was a referral from my friend, so that's why I really went to Kerrville, Texas, like 3 years ago.
I see. Miss Irene, hello. Thank you for watching and being with us in this live streaming. And to Moria, hello. Watching from NZ. Oh, we already have an audience from NZ. From Miss Faithy, hello there. From Saudi Arabia, Miss Vanity, hello. Thank you for being with us. Today, we have watching from the Philippines. Miss Sarah from Kuwait. What about other guys? Can you just comment down below? Where are you coming from? We have viewers from Dubai, from Tacloban, Miss Priscilla. Sir Noel is from the Philippines. From Riyadh, Michelle De La Rosa. So I think this has already increased to 61 viewers. Miss Marian from Manila. I think we will have a lot of viewers today because we did an chat blast yesterday. You guys received our notification in your messenger from Japan. Miss Lab, thank you. Thank you for being with us.
I think
And
that's our client, Olivia. Hello, Miss Olivia. Yeah, that's our client. I received her fingerprinting just a few weeks ago.
Sir James from Turks and how do you read that one? Turks and Caicos? Caicos? What is that? Sorry. How do you read that one? Turks and the location.
I don't know. I couldn't see that one.
You can see in your screen.
No. I only see Love Olivia there from Japan.
This one.
Yeah. Watching from Turks and Caicos Islands.
This is our client, Sir James. Hello, sir.
Oh,
Good morning.
Sir James Tadley. I thought Sir James is from Davao.
Maybe he is currently located there. He is. We did his endorsement or the NCLEX application.
I think NCLEX application, and I
He
helped him with his nursing jurisprudence exam.
Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for being with us today. So, let me just first announce, by the way, that today we will be having our online raffle draw. It will be done by our staff in IPAS Davao office. And the one who will benefit this UWorld raffle draw will be the ongoing clients of IPAS, regardless of what month you signed up with us. So your name will be included in the raffle. And also for the Lefora viewers, we just like to thank Sir Luis for being very supportive with IPAS processing, and he will do the raffle draw for the 3 months UWorld subscription, which is sponsored by IPAS, which will be sponsored by IPAS, and the raffle draw will be tomorrow. So for the criteria, for the how do you say that? For you to join the raffle, just like our page, the IPAS processing page, so that you will be able to join the raffle and also have your name, list your name in the comment section of that announcement of Sir Luis Mota Besa in Lefora. So let's start probably the discussion, Miss Jean.
Okay.
So today we will be talking about our topic today is why our clients will choose Texas Board of Nursing over why our clients will choose Texas Board of Nursing over other Board of Nursing. So Jean,
why?
you want to start the discussion?
Okay. Why do we choose Texas over other board of nursing? Because Texas is a compact state. If you live in Texas and if you have a license in Texas and you will live in Texas later on, like when we apply for NCLEX and you still live in the Philippines, but then we apply for NCLEX through Texas Board of Nursing, when you pass, you don't have a compact license yet. But then later on, when you come and live in Texas, when you submit a driver's license, a social security number, and that's the time that your license will become a compact license. So if you live in Texas and if you have a compact license, you can work in the 30 other compact states without you can work in the other 30 compact states without doing the endorsement. Texas, they are Texas is a member of the NLC now. So what do you mean by NLC? It is an agreement that allows mutual recognition of the nursing license between member states in the USA. So it's like if you have a compact license in Texas and you want to work in Missouri, then you don't need to endorse your license to Missouri, provided that you will retain your Texas address. So that's the benefit of having a compact license compared with having a license with Illinois or in New York, wherein you can only work in Illinois if you have an Illinois license, and you can only work in New York if you have a New York license.
We have to emphasize, Ms. Jean, though, that their license can only become a compact license or what we call multi-state license once they are already in Texas, isn't it?
Yes. Mm-hmm. You have to provide a driver's license, a social security number, to have your license be converted from a single state into multi-state. But there are also some there are instances that even if you are still in the Philippines, but then you are using a Texas address, then sometimes it can be converted to compact license also.
So there must be a Texas address that must provided to the Board of Nursing during the application. So the primary state
During
residence
application,
must be declared as that of Texas.
yeah, during application or during renewal. Like if there was one that I did a renewal of his license, and he was working in a BPO, but he has provided an address in Texas. So when the license was renewed, it has become a compact license already.
Okay, so just to make it clear for everybody who had applied through Texas Board of Nursing, the current status of your license as of this moment, since you are still outside of Texas, will be a single state. But when you can be able to provide a Texas address during your renewal, the renewal will be every 2 years. Isn't it, Ms. Jean?
Yes, every 2 years.
And
But it depends. No, it depends. Sometimes when you pass, there is like an odd even. I don't quite
add
understand.
an even rule, and it is related to the birthday as well.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So you just have to check on it as well as to with regard to when will be the renewal of your Texas license, and then when you have your renewal, you can have you can use a Texas address so that probably it might become a multi-state or compact license already after the renewal. So
Not in all cases, though, that when we renew your license and you have provided a Texas address, it doesn't really follow that it will become a compact state. But there are instances that when we did that one, it it becomes a compact license. But there is also one time that I renewed a license, but it wasn't a compact license. So
so
I am not so sure why that happens, but we can try after during the renewal. If you provide a Texas address, then we can try if we can make it compact or not.
during the chat blast that we had yesterday, there are other clients though that was telling us that, oh, I have already chosen Texas Board of Nursing, or I have already chosen Illinois Board of Nursing, so I'll not be able to choose Texas Board of Nursing. So with that on that regard, there is no problem as to which Board of Nursing you have chosen. But our purpose of doing this live broadcast, and we will be talking about Texas, is just for you to know what will be the advantages if ever that you will be choosing Texas. And for those clients who are still thinking whether which state they are going to choose, of course, there are eligibility requirements that is needed for you to be able to choose a certain state. Say, for example, New York Board of Nursing, there is no need for you to have an experience. Or Illinois Board of Nursing, there is no need for you to have an experience. But with Texas Board of Nursing, you need to have an experience within the past 4 years. So it will still depend on your experience, whether you have or you don't have. So if you are eligible to choose Texas Board of Nursing, then it would be best as well to choose Texas Board of Nursing. As what we have discussed, it is a compact state. You can have your multi-state license later on. And in comparison with New York Board of Nursing and Illinois Board of Nursing, you don't need um, an experience, but it's a single state. But the fastest still that will give you an approval as of this point is New York Board of Nursing. So, regardless of the state, no problem. Our purpose is just to inform you what are the advantages of choosing Texas Board of Nursing. I just would like to inform the public, Ms. Jean, that IPAS processing, this is just to remind everybody that IPAS processing is not a recruitment agency. We are not recruiting, we are not hiring medical professionals. We are a processing agency. What we do in IPAS is that we are the ones who will do your exam application procedure instead of doing it on your own. So You will submit your requirements to us. We process your documents, and then the time that you will be approved for your exam, then you go to the testing center. We do not hire anybody. We do not provide employment. We do not deploy any medical professional. So let's continue with the discussion, Miss Jean. Guys, if you have questions, by the way, you can comment your sections down below in the comment section. Also, you can share this live broadcast so that your friends can be able to know and take advantage of this live streaming that we have. Also, if you are not available at this time, probably you are on duty, you can just do a replay on this live broadcast so that you'll be able to participate as well and know what are the topics that we have discussed during this live discussion. So if you have questions, just comment on the section in the comment section down below. Give it as well a thumbs up if you're liking this live streaming, and thank you very much for being with us in this live streaming. So let's continue, Miss Jean. What about the cost of living for nurses in Texas?
The cost of living is very low. We are only paying a federal tax here. Unlike other states like Michigan, Illinois, I'm not so sure with New York, but those other states have, you will pay federal tax, you will pay city tax, and you will pay state tax. So with all those three taxes that they're getting from deducting from your check, it is a very big difference when you will work in Texas and also in Michigan. Because I have worked in Michigan for 7 years before, and when I came here in Texas, my salary was like $1,000 more on each paycheck. So there is a very big difference when you work in a state that you will only be paying one tax, the federal tax.
Mhm.
Houses here are cheap compared with, let's say, California. If you have like 250, 280 to 300,000 house, that is a very beautiful house already. If you are in California, 800,000, or you need to have probably for a 3 or 4 bedroom house, you will be paying like $1 million for that house already. So the houses here are cheap. You will have a very beautiful house if you would choose 280 to 300,000 worth of the house. Mm, Food is also cheap. It's yeah, it is very affordable. Our taxes here is 8.5%. 8.5, I think. Yeah. With other states that has a higher cost of living, I'm pretty sure it's more than the 8.5%.
Mhm. What about the weather, Miss Jean?
The weather is like the Philippines. It is hot during the summer. Right now, I think it's like let me see. It's 84 degrees Fahrenheit right now. During the day, it will sometimes like 90, 96. And if it's a very hot summer, we could go as high as 101, 103, 104. But that seldom happens though. But it happens sometimes. We are in the 3-digit um, degrees Fahrenheit. So it is like if you like to live in a state where it's like in the Philippines, then Texas is a good place. If you want to live in a cold place, you want snow, then you can go to Illinois, you can go to Michigan, you can go to Wisconsin, you can go to New York. So
Mhm.
it all depends on wherever you want to live. You want a cold state, or you want a hot and humid. Texas is a good one. Just like the weather in the Philippines, Texas has that same kind of weather.
You've mentioned earlier that there is still a winter, but there is no snow.
Yes, during like November, sometimes it's kind of cold already. December, January, February, we sometimes experience having 40 degrees Fahrenheit, 50 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's kind of cold during that time, but we don't have snow. There are other places in Texas that they have snow, but it won't accumulate. It will just go away after how many hours. But it's kind of cold also, but not really that cold compared to like -3, -10 degrees Fahrenheit in other states.
Mhm. So it's still almost the same as Texas. The
Yes.
difference is just that they have winter. Like here in the Philippines, we don't have winter, and but Texas doesn't have will not have any snow at all.
Yeah.
So
One time, there was one time that we had a snow. Oh my God, the city froze. Like you cannot go to the freeway. There are a lot of cars that are stuck in there. It is a mess.
but it just happened rarely.
Yeah, rarely. Like in my 4 years here in Texas, I've only experienced that once, just once.
Okay, let's go to the very important topic. What about the salary? Because as let's be practical. Nurses go abroad because of the salary. So, how much can a newbie nurse will have with regard to the salary? How much can one gain?
It depends on the agency that you are under to. Some agency will give you 25 to $28 an hour, or maybe 23. But if you are directly working here in Texas, if you really don't have an experience, then maybe 25 to 28 an hour. But most of the time, nurses from the Philippines are under the agency, right? So there are agencies who are giving 25 an hour. So let's just say, yeah, 25 an hour times 12 hours, because most nurses work, our work shift here is 12 hours per day, and we work 3 times a week. That's the minimum number of hours. There are also hospitals who you would be working 2 8s and 2 12s, so that comprise 40, was it 40 hours per a week. So 3 times a week times four times four is 12 days in a week. So if you are working in one hospital for 3 times a week only, and you are very hardworking woman or man, you can also work in other hospitals if you want, like twice in a week in other hospital, and you still have a 2 days off. Or if you are working only like PRN nurses, PRN or per diem, like an on-call nurse. So you can also work extra job. Then that would make your income so much better.
So I have my calculator here. So let's calculate, guys. So for example, the newbie nurse will have $25. Okay, $25, the least that they can have. So 25 we multiply it by 3. No, 25 we multiply it by 12, isn't it? Because the nurse will be working 12 hours
In
in
a
a
day,
shift.
yeah. In
Yeah,
a
in a
shift.
and then it will be multiplied 25 times 12 times 3. So is that I'm getting it right? 25 times 12 for 12 hours, and then we multiply it by 3 because she will have 3 days in a week, and then times 12. So am I getting it right? It's
Yes,
10,000.
yes, that is right.
So the nurse can get as much as 25 times 12 times 3 times 4, 3,600 in a month. So that's roughly around, if you're going to convert it at 52 pesos per dollar, it's around 187,200 in a month. And if the nurse will work in another hospital as per diem, as you have mentioned, as the on call, that she can have at most $35 per hour, then she can have another 174,720. So roughly the nurse can have at most, if the nurse will be very hardworking, she or he can get around 350,000. That's really a lot of money. And that's just 25 per hour. 25
Yes.
per hour for the newbie and 35 for the per diem. What more if she can have 26 or 27 or 28? So it's really one thing that can encourage a nurse to go to the USA because the income is really high.
Yeah.
Yeah, she can have at least 350,000. But usually this is the gross. But how much usually will be the net income?
The
Probably around
the net income is still high. It's still high. Because the withholding tax with just the deduction of federal tax, let's just say federal tax on that 3,000. What did you get? $3,600 a month. Uh,
mhm,
let's just say it depends on your exemption. Because if you are single, then you have a bigger deduction. If you are married with children, so you can claim like two or three, so you will have a lesser deduction. So if you are single, let's just say about maybe
250.
500, 600, or that's just a lot. So so it is, you will still have a big, like, it's still a it is still a good salary, because the federal, there are still like withholding tax, the federal tax, the social security taxes, but it's not that high. Medical and dental, maybe you're just gonna be deducted $100 per paycheck. Dental is like $10. In 401k, it depends on how much your contribution is. If like 3% of your income, then you will deduct 3% on what your gross income is.
Bottom line is that you still get a lot even
Yes,
with those
you still
deductions
get it.
because you will just be deducted uh, with federal tax. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay, so you have mentioned earlier about medical, dental, the 401k. So, say for example, the nurse was already deployed in Texas, and then she will be working in a certain hospital, and then she chooses to work in another hospital because she has a lot of time to work because she only need to have 3 days of work in a certain hospital. So, what the nurse can get, or what advantages that she can still get of doing like an on call there, because you have mentioned earlier there are options like she can still get medical. Can you discuss it further though?
Now, if you're working in one hospital as a full time, and then if you are working in another hospital like 2 days in a week, that is considered as part time. It depends on the hospital. Some are giving part time with full time benefits. So if you are doing a part time with full time benefits with that hospital, you will also have um like medical, dental, 401k, but it depends on you, because you already have a medical and dental coverage with another hospital, so you can waive that one. in the other hospital, but you will also have 401k, that's your retirement with the other hospital. You can also contribute much like 3%. It depends if you increment it to like 1% every year, you can do so. And also like you will also have paid time off with another hospital. So it depends on how much hours are they giving you, like uh per paycheck. Some are giving 6 hours paid time off, so when you accumulate that one, you can use that one when you go on vacation.
With regard to the vacation, how many days can a nurse will be allowed to have his or her vacation? What is the
It
usual?
depends on the staffing. It depends on the staffing of your unit, because if there are a lot of nurses there, then they probably might grant you 1 month vacation, and it depends on how many hours you have in your PTO bank. So if you have like 120 hours or 500 hours that you have in your bank, then you can, if your manager will grant you 1 month vacation, then you can go on vacation for a month. But it depends on the discretion of your manager. Some hospitals will grant you 2 weeks vacation, but some will grant you one month vacation. But in my case, we there are only two nurses, like only two of us nurses are working in the on the night shift. So we my manager cannot grant me 1 month vacation. I could only go on vacation for 2 weeks.
Mhm. With regard to the night shift, because when Sir Jay Padong, if you're watching Sir Jay, I'd like to mention your name because when he had his vacation, he visited the IPAS office, and then he mentioned as well that, of course, the daytime pay is lesser compared with the night shift. So, what is the difference between the night shift and the day shift? How much are they getting with the day shift, and how much are they getting if they will have a night shift?
Because in night shift there is a night shift differential, and there is also a weekend differential. So if you're working in a 7 p to 7 a.m. shift, the third shift, like after 3 no after 11 p.m. to 7 in the morning, there is an extra differential on that. I think I'm getting $3 an hour on top of the base pay that I have. So like if your salary is $40 an hour, then by 11 to 7 you have an additional $3. So that would make $43 an hour from 11 to 7. And also for a weekend there is a weekend differential, like $2 or $3 or $4. It depends on how much the hospital is giving you. It depends on your rate. It depends on your, like, how long you've been working. So on top of that, like if they're giving during the weekend, if you are working during the weekend, like $4 an hour, and then you also have a $3, so like $7 an hour on top of your base pay.
Wow, that's really a lot on top of your basic pay. And
Uh-huh.
who decides, by the way, for the shifting? Is it your manager, or
Yeah.
you
Oh,
have the option that you can tell your manager, "Oh, I want to have a night shift all
so
throughout."
here in America, if you are a nurse, you will only choose, like, there are only two shifts that you work, or it depends on the hospital. I mean, I've been working here in the United States for 13 years. I've been a nurse for 13 years, working as a night nurse from the very beginning. So it's either you choose, you are a morning nurse or you are an evening nurse. So it's
So it
either
can be
AM or PM. We don't rotate here. Oh, it depends on the hospital. Some will, if due to staffing issues, they can rotate you, but it depends on your contract. You either choose a morning shift or you choose a night shift. So there are only two options.
So it's you who will decide whether you
Yeah, yeah.
want night or a day shift. Before we're going to proceed with the next topic, Ms. Jean, I'd like to address this concern from Sir Nico Fernando Magtoto. Hi, ma'am. What if you pass the Illinois license, then you want to endorse it to New York?
Do you need to work first in Illinois? No, you don't need to work in Illinois if you want to endorse it to New York. So if your license is in Illinois and you are not going to work in Illinois, you are going to work in New York, then you can directly endorse your license from Illinois to New York. You don't need to work in Illinois just to have, it is not a prerequisite that you need to work in Illinois so you can endorse to New York. You can just directly endorse it to New York anytime you want.
Okay, we hope that we answered your question, Sir Nico. Another question from Sir John. How would you rank the major cities in Texas? Which is the best place to live and why? Austin, Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, etc.
Oh, okay. I live in San Antonio, Texas. The traffic here is not that bad compared to Houston and to Austin. Weather-wise is the same. Uh, Houston nurses are higher paid than in San Antonio. I don't know why. Because there was one nurse who was working here as a home care in San Antonio, and he doesn't want to be a home care anymore. So I think he transferred to Houston. He was only being paid here for like 25 or 30 something. When he transferred to Houston, he was offered like $42 an hour. It depends on the agency or the hospital also, but I think Houston are being paid more than in San Antonio.
Thank you, Sir John, for sending us that question. We hope that we answered your question, Sir John. From Miss Chan, our client, if I endorse my license to Oklahoma, will I lose my compact license privileges?
Mm, so you're licensed in Texas and you want to work in Oklahoma. Oklahoma is a compact state, right? Oklahoma. I don't see it as a compact state. So if you are licensed in Texas, you're not here in the United States yet. You are not here in Texas yet, right? So if you're still in the Philippines, your license is still a single state. If you want to endorse it in Oklahoma, it doesn't really matter. You want, but if you already have a compact license in Texas and you want to endorse to Oklahoma, if you retain your Texas address, then that license in Texas will still remain a compact license.
Do you mean the declaration of the primary residence?
Is Oklahoma a compact state? Because the compact states are Arizona, Arkansas, Colorado, Delaware, Florida, Georgia, Idaho, Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Maine, Maryland, Missouri, Mississippi, Montana, New Hampshire, New Mexico, Nebraska, North Carolina, North Dakota, Rhode Island, South Carolina, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, Utah, Virginia, West Virginia, Wisconsin. So Oklahoma is not a compact state. So if you're going to endorse it in Oklahoma and you are not, your license in Texas, if it is a compact state, then you will lose your compact license if you're going to declare Oklahoma as your compact state.
I believe
Oh,
Miss
no,
Chan.
no, no. Oklahoma is not a compact state. I mean, if you declare Oklahoma as your primary state of residence now, then your Texas will no longer be a compact state if you declare Oklahoma as your primary state of residence.
Yeah, because the compact state will also be related with regard to the declaration of the primary state of residence. And with the specific case of Miss Chan, I think she is still not in Texas. So the current status of her license yet is still not compact. So if she will be endorsed in Oklahoma, then it will still be a single state because Oklahoma is not a compact state, and the current status over her Texas license is not as well a compact state. It's not as well a multi-state license.
So your Texas license is a single state
License.
only, and
Mm.
Oklahoma will still be a single state.
Okay, Miss Chan, we hope that it answered your question, Miss Chan. From Miss Risa, kailangan pa ba ng IELTS sa Texas? Miss Risa, I'd like to address this concern. The Texas Board of Nursing's NCLEX application will not require you to have an IELTS during your NCLEX application. But regardless of what state you will be deployed, you will still need an IELTS because your IELTS will be needed for your visa screen procedure. Letting you know that the visa screen procedure will be done after you pass the NCLEX. So regardless of the state, you will still need your IELTS because you need it after, which will be used on your visa screen procedure. So, Miss Teresa, it's not needed to have an IELTS as of this time if you haven't taken your NCLEX yet, but you will need it later on. Okay? So, another question. There are a lot of questions. Thank you for your questions, guys. There is a question: are medical coders in demand in Texas? Do you have an idea, Miss,
Medical coders?
medical coders?
Uh, there's a lot of medical coders that's needed in the hospital because sometimes it is called utilization management. I think I'm not so sure, but uh you can just search. There's still a lot of there's still a lot of you can just look online if there is
Medical
a big
coders.
demand on that medical coders.
Mhm. We don't have data. Sorry for that, Miss Fatima. With regard to our discussion, what about transportation in Texas, Miss Jean? What can you say about the transportation?
Transportation, like a private transportation, you need to have a car to work to go to work from your house to the hospital. Of course, you need to have a private car. But then if you really can't afford to buy, nurses can afford to buy cars like 1, 2, 3 cars. You can really afford that. But there are also people who are also using a public transportation. We also have that here in Texas, or in San Antonio specifically. We have that big via cars here in San Antonio.
Another question from Miss Riza May Banluta. If you will pass New York board, you cannot work to other states because New York is not included in A. So maybe she really needs clarification on this, Miss Jean.
Okay, if you are licensed in New York, you can only work in New York. But if you want to work in other state, like if your agency will deploy you in Texas, then you need to have endorsement from New York to Texas. So you don't need to work in New York to have the license in Texas, not necessarily. So you can only work in New York if you have a license in New York. If you want to work in Texas, but you have a New York license, you need to have endorsement from New York to Texas.
So you can what we would like to emphasize in that, Miss Risa, is that you can work your license as a nurse in the USA is valid regardless of what state it will be. So you can work to uh, other states even if you have New York Board of Nursing license. But because it is a single state license, what you need to do is license endorsement or license reciprocity because you need to be authorized to practice as a nurse in that other state. So for you to be authorized to practice as a nurse, you need to do a license endorsement or license reciprocity. So well, even if you just have that license on that particular state, you can still work in another state, but you need to have license endorsement procedure. So the question of Sir Shan is, I would like to ask about the attitude of Texans towards immigrants when you are deployed outside major cities. What is your comment about this?
The attitude of Texans, you know,
Mm-hmm.
um, I've been here for 4 years already. Texans are really friendly. Um, I don't see I don't experience like discrimination. No. So if you live, what's this
What's the attitude towards immigrants?
attitude towards immigrant? It's not really that bad. I mean, yeah,
Based on
they're
what
not
I know,
really, they're not racist. Is that what you mean? They're not really racist. 'Cause we we as Filipinos and Texans or Mexicans, sometimes we even look alike. So, and they are really that friendly. I don't experience any discrimination from them.
Sir Jay as well is watching right now, and he mentioned to me with regard to the attitude of other people or attitude of the local people with regard to Filipinos as what he mentioned to me before during our conversation. They're really good people, like even outside, even you don't know them, they will easily greet you hi, even it's just like a certain meetup in the road. So I believe, as what Sir Jay had said, they are really friendly.
Yeah, they
So
are friendly. Even if you are in the elevator, they will say, "Hi, how are you?" Well, it's not compared to other states. I've gone to like Michigan. They're not really that friendly, but Texans are really that friendly. They will greet you even if they don't know you.
So to support our answer as well to Sir Shan, there is an answer here from Miss Michelle. Based on my experience, I can say that they are one of the nicest people I met. I live in Texas for 2 years, and my neighbors are just so helpful, always extending a helping hand. They help me a lot with my transition to the life in the USA. So probably that really answers the question of Sir Shan. So what about the work and life balance, Miss Jean? What can you say about work
Work
and
life balance. Okay, if you are only working one job 3 days a week, you still have 4 days off. So you have a very good time with your family and friends. You can go out of the state every week if you want. If you have enough money to go to other states and visit the other states, then you can do so. But you can still work in another hospital for 2 days. So if you're working 5 days a week, you still have 2 days off. So you can still have a life. If you are working too hard, you don't have an off days anymore because you're earning. You're trying to what, buy a mansion or any other, a lot of you're having a lot of investment in the Philippines, then you're paying a lot for that, then it would be difficult for you. But like for if you are only working for just one job or two job that will just make you work for like 5 days in a week, then you can still have a life. With regards to any to the recreation here in Texas, in San Antonio specifically, we have SeaWorld, we have uh Fiesta Texas, which has water parks and roller coasters. Is very nice in there. You can go to Riverwalk in Houston. We just went there in Houston like a week ago with my friend. We went to NASA. There's a lot of recreational activities like you can do with your family and you can enjoy them.
So you can really say that there is a life and work balance.
There is a life and work balance. If you will not work every single day, you still have a life and work balance.
But if you want to save more because you want to have a lot of investments in the Philippines, then you can still do so 5 to 6 days of working time. And then you can probably 2 or 1 day off, just like what we are doing in the Middle East. We sometimes have 2 days off, 1 day off. So there is really a work and life balance in particularly in Texas. If you'd like to ask about other states, probably, yeah, probably generally it will be the same. And there is a question from Sir Andy. Miss Jean, what percentage of your pay will you save in Texas after all the bills are deducted? If you are single,
If you are single, what percent of your pay will you save? Um, I really didn't compute how much did I save, but if you are single, if your apartment is like 700 or $800, so you're paying that every month, and you're paying bills, electricity, water bill, or something like that. It's not really that high, like 150 for that. What other bills do you need to pay? Car. If you are not, if you don't have a BMW, then you can just go for uh like a Asian car, a Honda Civic that is probably you might be paying $300, 350 a month. So there is still a big chunk of your check that you can save. Maybe 1,500 or 1,000 maybe a month.
so if you're going, we are going to compute it. Okay. Now, to help Sir Andy, we're going to compute it. Say, for example, you are getting $25 per hour. So, if you're just working in one hospital, you'll probably be getting 3,600. So, in 3,600, that's just one hospital that you're working. So, 3,600 less. How much is the federal tax for a single person?
For a single person, I'm not so sure how much is a single. It depends. Like maybe you can deduct maybe 500.
500. And then what are the other bills? Electricity,
Like
water.
700. Let's just say 800 for the apartment. So you still have 2,300.
2,400.
Let's say the car is 350. So you still have 1,950. The bills, water, electricity, let's just say 150. Then you still have 1,800. Your
Mhm.
food, your food probably is maybe 400. You still have 1,400. Cell phone, let's just say 85, 1,315. More or less, something like that.
So
1,315.
if you're working in one hospital, but if you will have another work, so For example, you will just be working in one hospital, so the nurse can still have a lot of income, even if, or is it that it's not necessary to work in another hospital? You will still have a lot of savings.
Yeah, you will save. You will save if you're not really that extravagant and buying a lot of, like, expensive things. Then you can save. If
Okay.
you are starting as $25 an hour for the first 3 years, after 3 years, that 25 will go as high as $35 an hour. So in the first 3 years, you really have you have to save. You can save just a little, but after 3 years, then you will have a big income after that.
Okay. Guys, we are about to end the live streaming already because it's been 1 hour since we started. There is just one. Sorry if we cannot be able to answer every question that you have given to us. We hope that we can able to answer your question with like we will just comment on on the questions that you will have in a written form probably, but not on this live streaming. There is just one question that we would like to address, Miss Jean. This last one question from Satya Raja Veradham.
The bed
Are
run.
you? Yeah, maybe he is an Indian, or I don't know what's the nationality. Probably. Compared to Illinois and Texas, which one is the
To live
best
as a
to live
family.
with family?
I would say Texas. Illinois, you will be paying three taxes there. The weather is cold. I've been in Michigan. I worked there for like 7 years, and Illinois and Michigan are just neighboring state. So you will be paying three taxes. The weather is cold. The cost of living is high in Illinois compared to Texas. So it's Texas. It's the best for the family.
Mm-hmm. This one, how much usually do nurses get paid for the USA? Is it enough to bring your family with you? Let's say two kids and a spouse.
How much do you usually get paid for the USA? So we have computed how much you're getting every paycheck, every hour. When I came here in the United States, I brought my family with me. We came here all together, my husband and my daughter. Uh, my husband didn't work for maybe 5 years because I got pregnant and I have a baby. So he has to take care of the baby because the babysitter is kind of expensive. I've been paying like $5 an hour for the babysitter. So it's better that it is my husband who will be taking care of my kid. So I'm the only one who worked. I worked in a hospital, and then um I also later on I decided that I have to earn an extra, so I went in a home care agency and worked for them, PRN. So you will still be able to provide your family with what you need to provide, or you will be able to give them a good and better life, even if you will bring two kids and your husband with you at the same time. You come here all together, it is still, you can still live comfortably.
So is it advisable that you are going to immigrate to America right then and there with your family, or is it more advisable that you will just go to America first and then when you are quite settled already in a certain state, then you can get your family and your kids? Which way is better?
For me, I better bring my family all together because it's so difficult if you have a husband and you have a daughter. You will be homesick when you get here. You will be so lonely, and it's so difficult to live with that. So I think it is much better for me. I really, what I did, and I did bring my family at the same time. with me here in the United States, and I didn't regret that.
Mm-hmm. So thank you very much for your time, Miss Jean, and to everyone, to our 152 viewers. Thank you very much for being with us in this 1 hour live streaming discussion. I hope that we have imparted good topic with you, and I hope that you would be able to use that discussion in your decisions later on. So if you haven't applied for your NCLEX application, you can do so. You can check and send us a message through our Facebook page. That's iPass Processing. And we can advise you what is the best state that you can choose in relation to your qualifications. When I say qualification, whether you have an experience or you don't have an experience. Just an announcement though. Sir Jay, thank you very much for being with us. Sir Jay is one of our instructors and he is working in Texas and he was with us during this live streaming. Thank you very much, Sir Jay, for your time. And just for announcement, yes, uh, we will be having our orientation together with NCLEX Unlimited and Niner Review Center in Cebu. That will be this coming Saturday, July 13 at Summit Circle, Cebu. We will be there at 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. It's on July 13. That will be this Saturday. And on July 15, we will also have another USA and UK Visa Expo and IDP Philippines, which will be held in Marco Polo Ortigas. So it will be in Manila. So if you guys want to attend our USA and Visa Expo, USA and UK Visa Expo, so just keep posted on our Facebook page with regard to our announcement. So thank you very much for your time. And I hope that we have imparted you a lot of educational things. And thank you very much. Miss Jean, do you have any last words to say to our viewers?
My last word: go for Texas. Oh,
Because
if you are coming here in Texas, specifically in San Antonio, I would be able to fetch you in the airport. There is one nurse that is coming here, and She's working as a home care nurse, I think, and I offered her she will be living here in my house.
oh, that's good. So to everyone who is watching with us this time, thank you very much. I know that every one of you are coming in a different country all over the world, from UAE to Singapore to New Zealand to Kuwait. To everyone, thank you very much for your time. And guys, you can do a replay for this live streaming. If you were not able to watch this live streaming with us during this time, just do the replay to know what we had discussed. So thank you very much and thank you. God bless everyone. Bye bye.
Bye.